Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, alright, alright. Let's begin. Let's see here. Alright, 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 as Matthew McConaughey would say. Hey, Apollo. What's up? You're the first one here. Wow. You saw the word Famicom, can't keep you. That's right. Yeah, so here's what we're doing tonight. We're gonna play Famicom games in the order in which they were released in Japan, starting with Donkey Kong, the original launch title. Actually, there were 3 launch titles: Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Popeye. So we're gonna start with them. Been wanting to do this for a while, just like go back and play really early Famicom games, because I just thought it would be fun. Let's just go over a list of all Famicom titles, well, the early ones, in release order. Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, then 2 Mahjong games, then Mario Brothers, Popeye no Ego Asobi, which is English learning Popeye, baseball, Donkey Kong Jr. math, tennis, pinball, Wild Gunman, Duck Hunt, Golf, Hogan's Alley, Family Basic, which is... that's like some kind of programming thing? I don't think I have that. Donkey Kong 3, Nuts and Milk, Lode Runner, Galaxian, Devil World, another Mahjong game, F1 Race, Pac-Man, Zevious, Mappy, Urban Champion, Clue Clue Land, Excite Bike, Balloon Fight. It takes that long just to get to Balloon Fight. You know? Ice Climber, Exarian. Yeah, it's interesting that Popeye... I bet few people would know that Popeye was one of the original launch titles for the Famicom. Anyway, we're going to see how far we get trying to play all these games. I mean, not necessarily going to beat all of them. We're just going to try playing them. So let's see here. That would mean that the first game is Donkey Kong. So let's play some Donkey Kong. I don't remember if I've ever played Donkey Kong on stream before. Not quite sure. We'll even try out the Mahjong games too. Just to, I know a little bit about Mahjong, mostly from reading the manga Akagi. That's like all I know about Mahjong, which is probably not enough. But we could try them. We could try some games that are probably unplayable in English. Alright, let's play some Donkey Kong. Hold on a second. By the way, how's the sound? Do you think the sound is okay? I'm not sure, but I think I may have played Donkey Kong on stream before. But I think it was probably the arcade version and not the Famicom version. This is the absolute first Famicom game to be released in Japan. No, I'm dead! May as well start over. If you die on level 1, you may as well start over, pretty much. Sound is good. The mic might be a tiny bit louder. Yeah, I'm listening to it now. Yeah, it's probably... I think that you're right. It's probably a good balance, though. So we'll keep it like this for now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't fall on my head. Thank you. Alright, that worked out. It's fine either way. Yeah, that's true. Well... I don't want to, you know, I mean... I don't want to... you want to be careful to not have to be competing with the audio of the game. So... I mean, you want to have the game audio be clearly hearable, but having it maybe like a hair bit quiet is probably good. Did it? Okay. I'll leave it for now. Okay. So this apparently is a pretty good port of the arcade version, other than the fact that it's missing the pie factory or cement factory, depending on what you want to call it. That pie factory is really hard to get to, by the way. I remember playing the arcade version, like being obsessed with like getting to the pie factory because that's like the only thing that matters. Gotta see the goddamn pie factory. And I remember that we had like a really hard time just getting to it because it doesn't show up until the third round. Like I think it goes level 1, then level 4, then level 1, then level 2, then level 4, then level 1, level 2, level 3, and then level 4. So and level 3 being the pie factory, so it only shows up like within the third rounds of levels in the arcade, if I recall correctly. So, and it gets hard pretty quickly, so not really that easy to get to the infamous pie factory. Apparently the structure of the NES game is different because you do all the levels right from the beginning in the NES version. It includes the elevator stage, like as the second stage you do, which I think is different from the arcade game, I believe. Also, this port does not have the how high intro screen, does it? I don't think it does. Takes you way back. Hey, Brigand! What's up, Brigand? Sorry, for a second I thought you were Apollo, because of the same color chat. Hey, what's up? We're doing all Famicom games. We're doing released Famicom games in the order they were released, starting with launch titles. Starting with this one, since it's the absolute first... Well, it's one of 3 launch titles for the Famicom. I mean, probably they were all released on the same day, but they're listed in this order. This was the first video game you ever played at the arcade? Wow! The first video game I ever played was, I believe, was not in an arcade. It was actually, I think, Tank on the Atari 2600. Yeah. Holy Diver. Yeah, no, you don't have. I mean, you can recommend that. You don't have to because I've been planning on playing that for a while. We're probably not going to do that tonight because I'm doing. I've got this whole thing that I want to do, and obviously Holy Diver is not even close to a release game. But no, yeah, I think we're definitely going to get to Holy Diver sometime this month. It's planned, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been wanting to play that game for a long time. Because it's legendary for being one of the hardest games ever made for the NES. And I've actually played a little bit of Holy Diver when we did that NES challenge thing that had like 20 different games on it. Holy Diver was one of them, so I played like a little bit of it. But like I've got to experience what Holy Diver is like. Not quite the same as like actually playing it. It seems like a pretty cool game. Fuck you, Donkey Kong. Fuck you, Donkey Kong. You love that fireball enemy as an emote? Oh, that one? There must be somebody who has that. Like, that has to be an emote somewhere, right? I would think so. Yeah, so, when the Famicom was a new system, one of the selling points of the Famicom was that it could take these arcade games, the early Nintendo arcade games, Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, and like faithfully port them to home consoles. So this is actually a pretty faithful port. I mean, it is obviously missing some things, but compared to like other ports at the time, like the Atari 2600 version and various other ones, this port looks really good. And it's generally pretty accurate. Ooh, just made it! You quested Salty play Elisa Dragoon. He played it and he beat on his first run. Really? He beat it on his first run? You mean he didn't, like, die at all? Are you serious? How good is he at games? Is he like the Mexican runner of people named Salty? And then Shimino beat it on hard. You're practicing normal difficulty now so you can try a hard run. Wow. I mean, it's pretty difficult even just on normal mode, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's not that difficult, but what did I take? Like, I don't know, 7 hours or something to beat it? It takes a little while to learn the game. Fuck you, Fireball. Okay, yeah, go up that ladder. Good idea. Good thinking. Yes! He climbed into my hammer. You wouldn't say he's superhuman-like, but he's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. That's definitely pretty good to, like, so he beat it on his first try? Like, are you serious about that? Like, that's like really good. Quite honestly. Well, we're better at the game than you are, Brigands? Oh, that's okay. I'm sure you're great. I mean, compared to other people, I'm not really that good. I can do okay. It's all relative, isn't it? You know? It's all relative. Yes, so once again, the launch games for the Famicom were Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Popeye. I don't think I've ever played Popeye, so it'd be pretty interesting to check that out. I sort of don't even know what Popeye is like. Hard or melee only? Shadow Dancer was a pretty fun game. Like, I'm not super excited to play it again, just because, you know, we've already beaten it, and it wasn't really that long ago. Maybe we should play that instead. You played Popeye for the 2600, but not the NES. I never had Popeye for the 2600. Is there a 2600 version? Wow, I wonder what that is like. 2600 Popeye. That must be really weird. Kinda want to check that out. 2600 ports of arcade games are so, like, just strange. I mean, have you seen the 2600 version of Donkey Kong lately? I enjoyed it when I was a kid because I didn't know any better, but go back and look at it now. It's really weird looking. Donkey Kong is like made up of like 4 pixels. The music, it barely exists as music. It's really weird. Although, like, the strange beeps and stuff. I mean, the graphics sort of resemble Donkey Kong, I guess. Stupid fireball. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait here. Maybe he'll go down the ladder. Here. Alright, there we go. Ooh, just barely. Took the shortcut. How many rounds do you think I should do this game? This is like, what, the 3rd round right now? Oh, just made it. We're getting our money's worth with Donkey Kong. It's a shame they couldn't put the Pie Factory in. You know? Just playing until I'm satisfied? I don't know. What should I be satisfied with? I think, this is the 3rd round through the game, right? Once we beat this, we'll just say, like, okay, that's enough Donkey Kong, I think. Move on to the next game. What? Or if we die here. Game over. Okay, good enough. Good enough. That was Donkey Kong. Let me check to see if Donkey Kong's in here. I think it might not be. So that was Donkey Kong. The Famicom version. What did I rate the arcade version? Oh, I thought I played that, but maybe I didn't. It's not in my sheet. I could have sworn I played it, though. Well, let's see. What do you rate a game like that? You know, like a game that is historically a classic, but like by today's standards is just a little bit too simple to really be that enjoyable. I mean, it's still, even now, it's still kind of a fun game. It's just, there's just not much to it, you know? Those 3 screens and that's it, and you just play through them over and over again. I don't know. I feel like, I think it's technically a well-made game. I think it's fair to give it a 5 by today's standards. Decent, you know, a decent game. And the music, what music is there? Like just the little jingles. Da-la-na, da-la-na. I mean, the jingles are good. Do 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 do. What do you rate the music for a game like that? It is unfair, but yet that's the way I rate games. I rate them according to how I rate them according to how I feel about playing them now. I try not to let myself, like, I think once you try to judge them based on this historical context of when they came out, it just gets too confusing to think about it. Like, it's, so I try to purify my mind of that and just think about, like, how do I feel about playing it today, you know? Like, but listen, it's a game that came out in 1980. So for it to get a 5 out of 10, I think honestly that's really good, right? Like, in a way, that's saying that it still holds up, you know? Like, it's definitely still fun. I'm gonna give the music let's give it a 4. Okay. Yes, I did beat it. That counts as Getting through all the screens once counts as a victory. All right, that's Donkey Kong. Let's move on to Donkey Kong Jr. now. Oh yeah, of course. There's this classic theme as well. You know what? I'm gonna give the music a 5. Actually, I'm gonna change that to 5. That's fair. Okay, moving on to Donkey Kong Country Jr. Not Country Jr. Donkey Kong Jr.